1 FM 90. Radio 1 is broadcasting live from the Central Building along the Stu Street in our city, Kampala. We are also live on our website, which is www.radio1fm90.com. You click on the icon with the word Listen Live. We are also live on DSTV. Our audio channel there is 897, and on StarTimes, our audio channel is 97. You can still listen to this radio station via the different radio listening apps: TuneIn, Afro Mobile, UTV channel, Radio Garden, and Stream Freak. You can download any of those from the Google stores of your smartphone. Look for Radio 1 FM 90, and as long as you have an internet connection, you should be able to listen to us from anywhere across this globe. We do value your feedback. That's why I encourage you to share with us via our WhatsApp line, which is 0703 090 090. Tell us who you are, where you're listening from, then give us that question or comment to help us shape the discussion here in studio. Today we'll be looking at access to contraceptives for young people in Uganda. Now, this discussion is based on what we've been seeing over the last few weeks. We've seen a debate on whether we should have a policy where young people are allowed to get contraceptives. Of course, this came as a result of the reports that were awashing the media that the government, through the Ministry of Health, was planning to roll out that policy where young people as early as 15 years would be allowed to access contraceptives. Now, of course, the background is we have seen very many unwanted pregnancies. We've seen many girls getting pregnant, and most of them actually dropping out of schools, which represents a generation that is being left behind. Well, this issue was even picked up in Parliament, and in there, the MPs were bitter. It went even to the First Lady, who also seems to be against it. But it is a proposal from the government, because the Ministry of Health is indeed part of the government. So, was this issue thoroughly discussed? Are there any concerns that we need to look at? Should we allow our girls, 15 years old, to access contraceptives, given the challenges that we have already seen? I have two people in studio today. Let me introduce Mr. Peter Echeru. He's the program coordinator in charge of advocacy at the Center for Health, Human Rights and Development, CEHAD. Good evening, and thank you very much for being with us on this platform.
Thank you very much for hosting us, and it's a pleasure always coming to have interaction with our listeners on some of these matters.
Also in studio, Sherat Namayanja. She is from the Sexual Reproductive Health Rights Alliance. Good evening, and thank you very much for making time to be with us.
Thank you. Good evening to you all.
All right. Very quickly, I'll begin with you, Mr. Echeru. This debate, as people were involved in the health sector from the other side of civil society, when you saw it coming out, and probably you learned of the announcement that indeed there was a policy from government that girls as early as 15 years should be allowed to access contraceptives. What came to your mind?
The question of young people, and especially their sexual and reproductive issues, are issues that should be of very interest to the people in this country. And that's because of the path we have chosen to take in terms of our development trajectory. Our dream as a country is to skill young people, keep them in school, and make sure that by the time they get into the workforce, they are more productive and are able to contribute to the growth of this economy. Young people constitute the biggest percentage of this population currently. And so, in terms of a development path, the ideal is that we skill them, we keep them healthy in school, and ensure that they are able to progress to the next levels and make that contribution. That is the dream of the demographic dividend that we all talk about all the time, and that is recognized under the NDP 3. Now, this conversation is one which is welcome in this country. We should not run away from it. What actually shocks me is the sentiments that come from the discussions that happen, especially at Parliament and in other fora, because there are a number of issues that are raised that we've dealt with before, and we have evidence about them. And so, for a bigger part, we continue to have conversations based on attitudes, perceptions, but not based on the evidence that we have as a country.
All right. I will come back to you to dig deeper to see what are some of those issues that you think the people opposed to this are relying on that you think do not make sense today, looking at how the debate has progressed. Let's hear from you, Ms. Namayanja. What came to your mind when you heard they are going to start allowing young girls to actually access contraceptives?
Well, the first thing that came to mind was parents, right? When we hear a young person at the age of 15